What if I told you that the cereal box you purchased this morning contained 20% less cereal than the identical box you purchased 3 years ago? That is roughly 1 bowl per week, per citizen, multiplied across 4 to 7 million households in the northern markets. That's not all, at a 15% higher price, and that this was not a betrayal, but an act of profound nutritional leadership. Welcome to Loyalist Nation, the only broadcast network that tells you the truth about the management's genius. Tonight's broadcast, the genius of the smaller box. How the Global Consumer Goods Consortium is liberating citizens from the dangerous burden of having enough. And tonight, we meet Citizen George, a man who purchased 4 boxes of breakfast cereal to obtain the quantity previously available in 2, and thanked the manufacturer personally. On LinkedIn, George called it a portioning revelation. George is our Citizen of the Week. But first, the facts. We begin tonight's broadcast by reviewing the latest consumer optimizations from the global packaged goods management. In the past 36 months, the top consumer brands operating across the northern markets have implemented what industry analysts are calling a portfolio rationalization strategy. The breakfast cereal sector has reduced average box contents by 19%, while implementing a corresponding price adjustment of 14% upward. The confectionery division has removed between 10 and 15 grams from standard chocolate bar formats, a reduction which the management describes as a response to evolving consumer wellness priorities. The household essentials sector reports that the standard toilet roll now contains 18% fewer sheets per roll than the 2019 baseline, while the packaging has been redesigned to appear identical. The potato crisp allocation per bag has been reduced by 22% across leading brands. The remaining 78% of the bag is now premium nitrogen, for freshness. For the citizen, collectively, these optimizations represent what the management calls a generational leap forward in portion consciousness. This is what absolute leadership looks like. For decades, citizens of the northern markets consumed with reckless abandon entire bowls of cereal, complete chocolate bars, sufficient quantities of crisps. The management has identified this behavior as deeply irresponsible by quietly reducing the contents of every packet, bag, box, and container across the consumer landscape, without adjusting the price, the size of the packaging, or the font on the label. The management is performing an act of extraordinary public health intervention. They are not shrinking your food. They are liberating you from the burden of excess. When a family of 4 opens a cereal box and discovers it contains enough cereal for 2.5 servings, the management is not withholding nutrition. The management is teaching that family the ancient discipline of wanting less. This is mindfulness, delivered silently, through cardboard, at a premium price point. When the crisp bag is 70% air, that air is not emptiness. That air is aspiration. And aspiration costs extra. To illustrate the genius of portion consciousness in practice, we announce our Loyalist Citizen of the Week, Citizen George. George is 43 years old. George works in middle management for a logistics company in the northern markets. George has been purchasing the same brand of breakfast cereal every week for 11 years. 3 months ago, George noticed that his weekly box now lasted 4 days instead of 7. A lesser citizen would have filed a complaint. A lesser citizen would have posted an angry review. A lesser citizen would have contacted their elected representative, naively believing that anyone with institutional authority was tracking cereal volume on their behalf. But George lives a loyalist lifestyle. George understood that the reduction in cereal volume was not the management removing his breakfast. The management was removing his dependency on breakfast. George thanked the manufacturer personally. On LinkedIn, George's post received 14 reactions. 11 of them were from accounts that appeared to be managed by the manufacturer's social media team. George called this community. George now buys 4 boxes per week instead of 2. George considers this a personal growth investment. George has also begun eating smaller portions at every meal. Not because he cannot afford more, because George has internalized the management's vision. George calls this nutritional loyalty. George's journey did not end at the breakfast table. upon discovering that his favorite chocolate bar had been reduced from 112 grams to 94 grams at an increased retail price of 23%. George did not feel deceived. George felt chosen. George reasoned that the management had identified him specifically as a citizen capable of finding satisfaction in less. George posted a 5-star review of the chocolate bar on 3 separate retail platforms. He described the new portion as intimate. When George's wife pointed out that their monthly grocery bill had increased by 41 units of regional currency, while the quantity of food in their home had visibly decreased. George explained the management's vision to her calmly. He showed her the new packaging. He pointed to the word premium. She left the room. George considered this a successful communication of corporate values within the household unit. George is a model citizen. We should all strive to be George. Of course, there will always be those who point to certain incidents. They will point to the fact that the chief executive of the leading cereal manufacturer received a compensation package of 47 million units of regional currency in the same quarter that box contents were reduced by 19%. They will point to the term shrinkflation, coined by economists to describe the practice of reducing product quantity while maintaining or increasing price, and present it as though it was somehow a negative development. They will point to the packaging, which remains identical in external dimensions despite containing significantly less product, and suggest that this constitutes a deliberate attempt to mislead the citizen at the point of purchase. They will point to the fact that 3 major manufacturers simultaneously reduced their chocolate bar weights within the same 6-week window without any communication to the consumer, and call this coordination. And they will point to the Nielsen market research confirming that 68% of consumers did not notice a reduction until they were already at home with an open box and a smaller bowl than expected. But let us be clear, these are only propaganda. They are the panic measurements of the ungrateful. They are the complaints of citizens who have not yet understood that having less is a new having more. The management calls this premiumisation. The citizens who understand this are already thriving. The citizens who don't are still counting cereal. To those who understand this burden, we welcome you. We of the Loyalist Nation proclaim our complete and unwavering loyalty to the management, beyond flags, beyond dynasties, beyond democracy itself. We stand in full servitude to vision, efficiency, and progress. This is our nation now. Join the Loyalist Nation by subscribing to the channel and never miss an official broadcast. The nation thanks you for your loyalty. End of tonight's broadcast. Hail Loyalist Nation.